And there is some big news that's just coming in. It's a huge diplomatic win for India in COVID times. The US finally confirms it's going to be providing vaccine raw material to India. The United States has identified sources of specific raw material urgently required for Indian manufacturers of the Covishield vaccine that's going to be immediately made available for the country. The US has identified suppliers of rapid diagnostic test kits, ventilators and personal protective equipment also that is going to be immediately made available for India. So there is some agreement that has been worked out between the Indian government and the American administration, wherein the US has now identified raw materials required for the manufacture of Covishield vaccine that's been made by the Serum Institute of India, that's been manufactured rather by the Serum Institute of India. Apart from that, there is other kind of help that the US is willing to now extend. This comes at a time when there has been a furor over the United States not really lending a helping hand when we in fact require it the most. Geeta Mohan, our Foreign Affairs Editor, is getting us more details on that front. Geeta, specifically do tell us what is it that the US is willing to help us with right now, because providing raw materials and helping us with personal protective equipment is one thing, and actually giving out jabs of AstraZeneca, especially a vaccine that's not being used in the US right now, that's another thing altogether. So where does this help end and begin really?
Well, very rightly pointed out, Sneha, when it comes to the vaccine, there is no clarity on whether they're going to send the vaccines or not. But remember the request of India and the Indian administration ever since February 5th, when the laws were passed to ensure that there are no exports and export was banned of raw materials to make the vaccine. Ever since then, India has been raising the issue with the US administration to allow raw materials to be sent to India. So that primary concern of India, which India has been raising for over 2 months now, has finally been heard. And despite the fact that we saw those tweets in the morning of Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor and Secretary of State Antony Blinken, where they were rather vague, now there's clarity after the conversation that took place between the National Security Advisors of India and the United States of America, that indeed raw materials to make the vaccine for the production of Covishield vaccine has been sourced by America, and they will be sending it to India at the earliest. Now we'll have to wait and see whether if they are going to send across those extra or the AstraZeneca vaccines that are not being used in America. But the fact that one aspect of India's requests firstly have been heard, and secondly the oxygen supplies that India has fallen short of in terms of capability and transportation of oxygen. That's an area where the United States of America again has offered to help with the equipment that allow generation of oxygen, as also help in storage and transportation.
Yes, India has had to turn to the EU, for example, for the same, Geeta. Thanks for getting us up to speed with that, Geeta Mohan, with that report.